At ease, Guardians, welcome to Tales of the Frontier. As always, I will be using a system for determining the certainty of a theory. The system is in short as follows and is detailed in the description below. It ranges from speculation, to possible, to probable, to likely, and to confirmed. My name is Captain Kix, and before I announce today's topic, it's my honor to introduce my guest reader. My plan is to feature someone from the Destiny lore community that I highly respect and appreciate for their work on every third episode. This week's special guest is a great lore mind of the community, a great guy, great streamer, great voice, Myelin from Myelin Games. Myelin produces some of the best lore theories in the community, and his in-depth analysis of lore topics are an inspiration to us all. So sit back and enjoy Myelin telling you the story of the Sophia and the space station A-113.
There are some great mysteries in the lore of Destiny, but nothing is as great and as mysterious as the fate of the dead orbit ship, the Sophia. This is her tale. Record 978, Eclipse 4165. Hello? Are you... Oh, please let it be alive. Wake up, little ghost, wake up. Just please give me some sign that you're listening. Alright, I know you're listening. Why would you be out here if you weren't here to... It's a miracle I found you out here, on this thing. I didn't know the Traveler sent its ghost out this far from home. Poor little lost thing. Please wake up. I am an Arak of a dead orbit. I'm the last of the crew of the Sophia, and this place is... It doesn't have a name. We called it A-113. How long have you been here, little ghost? Why did you come? Listen, we came here on behalf of the fleet. We were scavengers. 61 days ago, a dead orbit scout detected an unknown presence in stationary orbit around Ceres, 133 West. Looked Golden Age by the signatures. Human. A small station, no prior records. I suppose we should have disclosed it to the tower, but we didn't. I didn't. That was my call. We wanted it for ourselves, whatever it was. For the fleet. If we'd told the tower, maybe they might have sent a guardian, not of our making instead. Doesn't matter now, does it, little one? If I ramble, it's because I haven't slept in 7 days. 7.5 days ago, that was when the Sophia dropped into the belt. They saw us at once. We dropped and the alarms went off, and that was the end. That was the end right then. But they let us go. But they let us go on for another 7.5 days, didn't they? The alarms, hostile scan detected, an awoken ship had us in its sights, just a couple 100 kilometers away, like it had been waiting for us. It could have wiped us out of space right then, but instead it crippled our engines and our comms, and then for days it played with us like a cat. We limped halfway around the belt, and it was always there. We abandoned the Sophia 1.5 days ago. We jumped ship for A-113. I don't know what else to call it. I don't know what it was built for. There are these things like keyholes. The rangefinders say they go on for thousands of kilometers. The others went inside and found, well, some of them are still screaming about the eye. All the other voices that came back are more terrible. There's salvage here, but it'll never come home. None of it. None of it except maybe you, little ghost. Wake up. Wake up, go home. Tell them to strike A-113 from the records. Tell them to forget the Sophia and the mission and her crew. End record. The Sophia is described as a salvage ship, and we know that Dead Orbit has a vast fleet seeking out salvage. There's so much interesting detail in this little tale, and let's break it down into smaller parts. First off, whoever is speaking is an Arak of Dead Orbit. Arak is a title within the faction that seems to mean leader. Jalal in the tower is an Arak. Secondly, let's look at the first line. Record 978, Eclipse 4165. This is highly interesting because the formatting greatly resembles the Future War Cult entries pertaining to the device, a machine the Future War Cult uses that mimics the Vex Gate system. Those use the same format, only a different word. Record 314, Chasm 7888. The true meaning of these records is unknown, but Chasm in the Future War Cult part is repeated by Atheon in his dying thoughts. Glimpse the chasm. What then could Eclipse be a reference to? So this is then a record of sorts and seems to be recorded by a ghost found on a derelict spacecraft. The speaker has been known to send out ghosts on recon patrols. Could this be one of those ghosts? Given the information about the hostile reef forces, and given the fact that the station they find, A113, is orbiting Ceres, it puts these events before the Reef Wars. We know this because Ceres is destroyed when the Queen decided to stop the fallen House of Wolves from reaching Earth, which would have led to the Battle of Twilight Gap being won by the Fallen. So this is prior to this battle as well. In this time, the mysterious reef was hostile to any intruders on their space. It would seem in the text that the Awoken intentionally crippled the Sophia and drove her towards A113. But why? Perhaps to learn its secret or to experiment. The station A113 is never mentioned again, perhaps by the wishes of the Arak, but what did it contain? What horrors lie within that drove the crew mad with screams of eyes? There is one word here, keyhole. The quote again reads, "There are these things like keyholes. The rangefinders say they go on for thousands of kilometers." There is a connection here, and that is to the Crota's End Grimoire card, which reads, "Tolan tells us that Crota's presence in our world is a shadow, that its true power resides in a netherworld forged by his will. We must pass through a keyhole between realities, navigate the seething midnight of Crota's world mind, and overthrow the ascendant champions that gather to his throne." The keyhole is what we pass through as Guardians after the stills in the raid. It's the portal that connects Crota's realm to ours. It is a portal opened by great power by the Hive to bind our universe with the Ascendant realm. So could it be that whatever the Golden Age station A113 was experimenting on was portals through time and space? That they found a way to reach through the space between stars only to find the horrors that lie within? What did the Awoken unleash on the dead orbit crew of the Sophia in the derelict space station? No one knows at this point. And what did the Awoken gain from this experiment? Perhaps it's the power the Awoken Queen uses to gain knowledge of Oryx. Perhaps it's even the secret to the powerful Harbingers. This is all speculation at the moment, and perhaps we'll never know what really happened on the A113. The crew never returned, and the memory of them is gone, all except in this report. The station was most likely destroyed when the Queen unleashed her Harbingers on Ceres, destroying it and most of the House of Wolves fleet. Unless the Awoken moved the space station closer to the reef in order to protect its secrets. Remember the Sophia Guardians, its chilling story of keyholes and eyes. Perhaps one day when we explore the reef, we will stumble upon similar stations or even the A113. And be prepared, Guardian. You might not be ready for what will meet you inside.
I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and thank you so much to my guest reader, Myelin. Make sure to follow him on Twitter
@Myelin Games,
or sub his YouTube channel and Twitch channel, link in the description. Please show some support if you want me to continue making this kind of content. I am sure you will find good ways to do that. Dismissed, Guardians.